I brought a pair of Cartier diamond and platinum dress clips that belonged to my mother. My mother got them from my father, who bought them from a family friend and jeweler out of New London, probably in the early 70s. She loved them and she wore them every Saturday night. She was 6 feet tall, dark hair, dark eyes, red lips, red fingernails, and she was always dressed in black. And so she wore them one on each side of her dinner jacket. So they, to me, mean good times. They were really special, and when she died about 10 years ago, my father gave them to me.
Founded in Paris in 1847, Cartier became world famous under the founder's grandsons, who turned it into a global name and pushed jewelry designs into bold new territory during the Art Deco era. These clips are signed Cartier, and each one carries a serial number. They are signed on both clips. Each clip is made of platinum and diamonds, dating to around 1930, right in the middle of the Art Deco period. Together, the pair holds about 20 carats of diamonds. The two large center stones are each about 2 carats, flanked by sharp baguette-cut diamonds, with a mix of old European cut and old mine-cut diamonds filling out the rest. Seeing them sparkle again, out in the daylight, feels less like a price discovery and more like bringing a loved story back to life.
Do you know what your father purchased them for?
I know that he paid $7,000 for the lot. I don't know what was in the lot, and he doesn't remember either.
Conservatively, I would say an auction estimate on the pair would be in the neighborhood of $30,000 to $50,000.
Wow.
They truly are museum pieces.
That surprises me. I never, when you love something, you don't really ascribe a value to it, so it's a bonus. I'm just happy to see them out, out in the daylight, sparkling, and my father will be so thrilled. They meant a lot to him and a lot to my mom. And
well, they're beautiful. He had incredible taste.
Thank you, Catherine.
The best of the best.
I'm gonna cry.
I inherited it from my father because he inherited it from his great auntie. We were told it's a Cartier bracelet, but I don't know. It's beautiful. I love it. Reminds me of her. When she passed away, somebody had it appraised for the estate, and I believe they appraised it around $9,000. And I remember them saying something about mine-cut diamonds.
Cartier is one of the most famous jewelry houses in the world, known for precision, balance, and bold design. The bracelet is flexible, yet carefully curved at the top, so it lays flat when worn. There are 180 diamonds in this single bracelet. 2 of the largest stones weigh about 3/4 of a carat each, cut in old mine and European styles. Along the length are additional larger diamonds at about 1/2 carat each, mixed with smaller stones so the size gradually tapers with the bracelet. The back is just as beautiful as the front, letting in more light, making the diamonds sparkle more. This bracelet carries the correct block-style Cartier signature for its period, along with tiny in-house inventory numbers. Altogether, the diamonds add up to roughly 15 carats total weight. It is a true treasure that will never be forgotten.
So any thoughts on what you think it may be worth today? You had that big $9,000...
I'm sticking with the appraisal, original appraisal, $9,000.
I think you're crazy.
No.
No, so listen.
Please don't say $3.
No, it's not. It is real. So listen,
real.
If I had to appraise this right now today for auction, I would say that this bracelet, easily, because of the Cartier name and the strong Art Deco influences, $40,000 to $60,000.
No way. 40,000 to 60. That's crazy.
For insurance purposes, again today, this would insure for $100,000.
No. It would insure for $100,000.
Right.
Okay. Seriously?
Cat got your tongue?
Well, no way. Thank you, Aunt Blanche.
My husband gave it to me 10 years ago for our anniversary. I know it's 11 carats of sapphire, 5 carats of diamond, in a platinum setting, and it's marked Cartier.
Okay, great.
Cartier's is one of the most famous names in fine jewelry in the world. The company was started in 1847 in Paris, France, by a watchmaker named Louis-François Cartier. It holds an 11-carat sapphire, 5-carat of diamonds, sits in platinum, and carries the Cartier signature. The sapphire is the heart of this ring. It is a bright blue pear-shaped stone, most likely a Ceylon sapphire from Sri Lanka, an area once formerly known as Ceylon. Surrounding the sapphire are pear-shaped diamonds and fancy-cut diamonds that frame it closely. The diamonds support the center stone instead of competing with it, which was a popular design approach at the time. The sapphire itself is what drives the value of the ring. It is a rare case where beauty, brand, and timing all come together, turning a personal gift into something far more valuable than anyone expected.
And I do believe that it's probably made in the 1950s to 1970s. The Salon Sapphires right now are bringing an all-time high for auction records. I would say for auction purposes, you would be looking at an estimate of $40,000 to $60,000.
My gosh, I don't believe it.
It's
yeah, fantastic. It's
great.
Beautiful. Is that just for the sapphire or for the whole ring?
Well, the sapphire really dictates the value.
Okay.
But the fact that it is signed Cartier does help as well.
In the mid-40s, the actress Constance Bennett came to Montgomery, Alabama. She was visiting actually Tallulah Bankhead in Montgomery.
Okay, famous people.
And she went into one of the jewelry stores in Montgomery and she saw an emerald ring that she wanted, and she asked the jeweler if he would trade this ring for the emerald, and he did. Okay. And after she left, the jeweler called my grandmother and said, I have a ring here I think you would be interested in. So she went and looked at it and was interested. She went home and told Granddaddy that there was a ring at the jeweler that she would like to have. Granddaddy looked at her and said, it's not your birthday, it's not our anniversary, and it's not Christmas. I am not buying you a diamond cocktail ring.
Oh, but what did you do next?
Well, the next morning at the breakfast table, Granddaddy asked her if she was going to the club for lunch. And she said, yes, she was. And he tossed this across the table to her and said, well, here's something for you to wear.
That's a good man.
Constance Bennett was one of the biggest film stars of the 1930s and 1940s. The ring itself is a platinum diamond cocktail ring made in the Art Deco period. The Art Deco period was a design movement that began after World War I and lasted into the 1930s and 1940s. It features a very white diamond, a quality that greatly increases its value. Inside the band is a clear hallmark reading Cartier Paris, along with the company's numbering. The appraiser explains that Cartier Paris was one of Constance Bennett's favorite jewelers, which strengthens the story behind the ring. The diamond's color, craftsmanship, and famous connection all come together in one striking piece. In the end, the guest says the ring is worth far more than money to her. It is a piece of history touched by Hollywood.
It's a very, very white diamond. You've heard me talk about diamonds before. The whiter they are, the more money they are. So now, what you have here is a unique, famous ring. So I hope you wear it in good health.
I wear it every
day.
But
after I tell you what the value is, you might put it away again. I don't know. But a ring like this today, in this market, could easily sell for somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000.
Oh, how wonderful. That's great.
I don't know what your grandfather paid for it, but whatever it was, it's more money than he did.
Well, I think so.
And we don't know what the emerald was worth when it was traded.
Well, this is worth a lot to me. I really appreciate it.
Wear it in good health.
They come down in the family, my father's side of the family. They were given to my mother when she married my father. And I have a photograph of them dancing shortly after their wedding with my mother wearing the necklace and the brooch.
The bow brooch, which is diamond and platinum, this dates around 1900, 1905. This is what we typically refer to as an Edwardian period piece.
Cartier is one of the most famous jewelry houses in the world, founded in Paris and known for shaping royal and high society style in the early 20th century. The brooch is known as a bow brooch. It is made of diamond and platinum and dates to around 1900 to 1905. The necklace tells a slightly different story. The upper pearl section clearly reflects Edwardian taste. But as the eye moves downward, the design changes. Sharp chevrons and clean geometric lines begin to appear. On the clasp of the necklace is the signature Cartier. On the opposite side is the word Paris. Even better, the brooch is also a Cartier creation. Having a matching necklace and brooch by the same top-maker is rare. They reflect the design history of a famous maker, and they continue to shine just brightly today.
So it's quite likely that it comes from what would have been a great-great-grandfather.
I see.
Living in Paris.
Well, I think this would be appropriate for his wife to go dancing in Paris, certainly during this time period.
Right.
And for the value on a piece like this, these are the types of items that collectors are very, very interested in. I would say for insurance purposes, on the necklace, I would have a value of this between $60,000 and $90,000 for the necklace, and for the brooch, between $15,000 and $20,000. So the insurance value for these two items together would be between $75,000 and $110,000.
That's wonderful.
Well, they belonged to my grandmother's sister, and then they were passed on to me.
Your dad had an appraisal.
That would have been 1990 about.
For how much?
He thinks somewhere around 40,000.
Now, you recently had them appraised again.
I had them appraised within the last year, and they appraised them at 28.
Founded in Paris in the 1800s, Cartier became famous for combining technical perfection with elegant design. Sapphires are precious stones that come in many colors, but the deep blue ones are the most famous and most wanted by collectors. Diamonds are the hardest natural substance on Earth, and in jewelry they are used not just for sparkle, but for status. High-quality diamonds like the ones Cartier chose are rare and expensive because they must have very few flaws. Surrounding the sapphires are diamonds, adding another 6 carats in total. The diamonds are not all the same cut, which adds visual interest and movement. Square cuts, pear shapes, and marquise diamonds are all used together, and every stone meets the high-quality standards Cartier was known for. In the end, these earrings are more than diamonds and sapphires, or even the Cartier name. They show that sometimes the real surprise is realizing that something familiar has been extraordinary all along.
And again, they only use very fine goods. So let's go back to the appraisal. The first one's for 40, the second one's for 28. You know something's not right.
It's not consistent, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, but I'm not happy with it either.
Okay.
Hey, I think he was trying to buy them. If you had to appraise these again today for insurance purposes, okay, I would say that probably at retail, say in a shop, $75,000.
Really?
Really.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, I could take it one notch further. If they were back in Cartier, I don't think they'd be 75. I think they might possibly be 100,000.
Wow. Wow.
Right?
Yeah, that surprises me.
They were my former spouse's mother's. He was given the jewelry upon her death, and in turn, he gave them to me during marriage.
Oh, nice.
And when we divorced, he wanted me to keep them because he thought that there was no one else that he would rather have them but me.
They're Cartier, which is just an excellent maker of jewelry.
Cartier was started by a jeweler named Louis-François Cartier in 1847. The items are a matched pair of Art Deco lapel clips. They were especially popular in the early 20th century when women's fashion changed to favor more daring styles. They were made by Cartier and crafted in platinum. Platinum became a signature part of Cartier's Art Deco works because it complemented the geometric designs so well. Each clip is set with coral and single-cut diamonds, materials that were highly prized during the Art Deco period for their color and sharp sparkle. The clips are in exquisite condition. Art Deco lapel clips were designed to be worn on jackets or dresses, often as a pair, and surviving examples in this shape are not always easy to find. What began as a sentimental keepsake turns out to be a serious and valuable piece of design history, carrying both emotional weight and lasting worth.
And they're made of coral and single-cut diamonds, and they're inset in platinum, and they're really in exquisite shape. I think a nice auction estimate would be about $10,000 to $15,000 for
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
It was a gift from my husband, and I know very little about it. I've worn it as a pin on a coat or a jacket.
It's 18 karat yellow gold. It's kind of this oversized, it's not a safety pin, but it's got kind of that look.
Yes.
And on the end, you got these blue stones. Do you know what they are?
I think they're lapis.
You're right, lapis lazuli.
Cartier is one of the most famous jewelry houses in the world. This piece does not look like a typical brooch. It is made in 18-karat yellow gold and shaped like an oversized pin, not quite a safety pin, but close enough to feel playful and bold. At one end sit deep blue stones, lapis lazuli, cut into smooth high domes called cabochons, that catch the light without sharp edges. Lapis lazuli is a rich blue gemstone that people have used for thousands of years. It gets its blue color from a mineral called a lazurite. Gem cutters shape it into cabochons, which are smooth stones with a round top and flat bottom. Inside the pin, the name Cartier is signed, along with the word Paris. Right next to the Cartier Paris signature are 5 small numbers. It is the kind of object that proves everyday jewelry can quietly carry history, craftsmanship, and real value all at once.
And then also, if you look just to the other side of where it says Cartier Paris, there's tiny little numbers, there's 5 numbers. That's very important when you're trying to authenticate Cartier pieces, because a lot of times you'll see pieces, you know, they may not be so correct. You'll see the signature, you won't see the numbers. Sometimes you see numbers, you don't see the signature.
Okay.
Here you got everything wrapped up in a neat package.
Oh, great.
I would say at auction, $6,000 to $8,000.
You're kidding. Wow. I love him more every day.
This was my mother's. She passed a couple of years ago, and I just bought it with me to see if it was worth anything.
It's based around V for Victory. This was a watch that was sold during the 1940s, during the war.
During World War II, luxury brands did not stop working. Cartier was one of those names, and this small watch carries a much bigger story than its size suggests. This watch was made during the 1940s and is built around the idea of V for Victory. The letter V was also used by leaders like Winston Churchill as a sign of strength and hope. At the time, that symbol was everywhere. Retailers sold pieces like this to patriotic buyers who wanted something meaningful, not just decorative. Unlike a standard wristwatch, this piece was designed as a clip watch. It fastens onto fine clothing, allowing the wearer to glance down and check the time without lifting an arm. Objects like this show that even small things can carry meaning and memory of times past.
Cartier is one of the most premium companies in the world, especially their watches, and things like this are really, really rare and valuable. A watch like this probably would auction or retail for around $3,000 in today's world.
Oh, well, my niece will love that. That'll help pay for her tuition.
What can you tell me about these extraordinary Art Deco cufflinks?
I've had them for about 10 years and bought them from a friend of mine in St. Louis who used to sell jewelry. And I've worn them off and on since that time.
Cartier is one of the most famous jewelry makers in the world. It was started in Paris, France, by a man named Louis-François Cartier in 1847. The French platinum dog's headmark confirms the metal, while the early French numbering system, including the important 0 at the start, helps date and document them accurately. The mechanism is the heart of these cufflinks. The metal folds over, slides through the shirt cuff, and locks in place. They are set with single-cut diamonds and smooth cabochon sapphires. The brand often paired subtle gem shapes with clean designs. The quality is strong, and the Cartier signature confirms they were made in France, not a later copy. Because Paris was so respected, a French Cartier mark adds real value. They are beautiful and stylish, perfect for people that want to make a fashion statement anywhere.
So you've really got almost like a little Cartier history of cufflinks in these. They're single-cut diamonds. The blue stones are cabochon sapphires. They're actually quite nice quality. How much did you pay for them? Do you remember?
I think like $500 when I bought them.
In the market today, at auction, I would estimate them $5,000 to $7,000.
That's great.
What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good.
I had a neighbor. She was an elderly woman, and she really had no family. And she was very kind to myself and my children. And she gave it to me as a gift. I never used it. I never inquired about it. It was beautiful. And I just put it away. I figured one day I would give it to one of my children.
How long ago was it that she gave it to you?
I would say it was in the early 70s.
Okay. And do you have any idea how she acquired it?
No, she was very wealthy, and she enjoyed the arts, and she went out all the time. She went to the opera all the time. She had many beautiful, beautiful objects.
Well, I'm not surprised, because it's a beautiful purse.
Cartier is one of the oldest and most famous luxury brands in the world. Looking closely, the purse is made from fine silk brocade in a Persian-inspired pattern. It is in extraordinary condition, showing almost no wear after nearly a century. The frame is 18-karat yellow gold with accents of white enamel, and the edges are lined with pink tourmalines. Tiny diamonds are set into the buckle clasp, while the thumb tab also features pink tourmaline. Cartier signed the inside in block letters, marking it as a Cartier New York creation, likely designed in Paris around 1925. This purse is not just a handbag. It's a piece of 1920s elegance, carefully designed and preserved.
Because I've seen a number of purses, hand clutches, items that they made out of these. I even once had a cigarette case where they took this pattern and engraved this whole pattern into the surface of the cigarette case.
That must be beautiful.
At auction, this piece would bring anywhere between $15,000 to $20,000. Yes.
Oh my goodness, really?
This is a phenomenal example, and it's in such pristine condition. Wow. That's the beauty of this because of the silk being in good shape.
I'm glad I didn't give it to one of my children to play with.
I was going to say.
To play dolls with.
Really, have one of the kids take it to school.
You really have to thank your mother for this beautiful miniature box?
I do. She and I just came across it a couple months ago when she actually gave it to me, but she purchased it for me when I was a small child at a tag sale.
How long ago was that?
25 to 30 years ago in that area.
Your mother's been holding on to this for about 25 years before she gave it to you?
Yeah, well, we kind of forgot about it. We were going through her jewelry a couple months ago, and I took it out and I said, hey, this is nice.
Why did she buy this?
Well, I am her only daughter, and it was such a girly thing, and we were at a tag sale, and she thought I'd like to play with little pretty things.
A few dollars for a play toy for you to play with. Did you play with it?
I did. I did. I remember playing with the box. I thought the box was really neat, and it was pretty, shiny.
Well, the box is very interesting, and then when you open it up and you find something more interesting inside, you say to yourself, wow. And, of course, the box says it's from Cartier.
A tiny box, no bigger than the palm of your hand, can hide a big surprise. This one is a miniature Cartier compact. Even though it was made as a small play item, it's basically a tiny work of art. The box is covered in green and red enamel flowers, with white enamel that is still perfect. White enamel has a long history too, seen in many famous jewelry pieces kept in museums around the world. Its bright surface makes other colors stand out. Inside, there's a tiny mirror and even a natural ruby surrounded by little rose diamonds. For a plaything, it's almost unreal. It's not just a box. It's a story about a mother, a daughter, and a small treasure that survived years tucked away. It proves that sometimes the tiniest items hold the biggest surprises.
Tiny little diamonds that go around the outside are all tiny little rose diamonds.
Wow.
This basic compact was probably in some very wealthy lady's purse. And your mother paid $3 for it, something like that?
Something along those lines. She said she wasn't pay much because it was going to be something I was going to play with.
Okay. So a Cartier box like this at auction can easily go for anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000.
Wow.
It's a great present that your mother gave you.
It sure is. Thanks, Mom.
You can't have it back.
My mom's mother inherited them from her cousin. He got them from his parents, and I've now inherited them.
Let's start with the first one here, the Cartier. This would be the latest of the group.
Cartier is a name many people know today as one of the world's great luxury jewelers. The first piece is an 18-karat gold Cartier compact, likely from the 1940s. It has a small ruby set into the lid. Next is another Cartier compact, this one from the Art Deco period around 1925. Black enamel wraps the case, and diamonds highlight its edges. It was made in Paris and sold in London. The compact opens to reveal a mirror and space for powder. Tiny push buttons on the side allow it to open. There is some minor damage, but the craftsmanship is still beautiful. The last and most remarkable piece is a Minaudière. This one was made by Arnold Ostertag in Paris, near the famous Place Vendôme. The case is 18-karat gold with rubies and diamonds arranged in a delicate floral pattern. They are a glimpse into a time when elegance was an art.
So here you have this beautiful Minaudière with the diamond and rubies, sort of in a floral motif. This would have been circa 1935 to 38. Okay. The rubies are probably Burmese, which is the finest quality of stone. And the diamonds are beautiful as well. They used very, very high quality material. Okay. The case itself is 18-karat gold, and it opens to reveal the watch. Here is the lighter, and then the below section opens to reveal the lipstick.
Sure.
So once you take those two sections out, the case opens, and one compartment would be for her powder and a mirror, and then the back would have been where she would have kept her cigarettes. If we're thinking of values, let's start here. With the more simple version of the compact, I would say an auction estimate, you would be looking at $3,000 to $5,000. Wow. The black enamel Art Deco Cartier case, conservative estimate because of the condition issue, I would say at auction $6,000 to $8,000. Oh my gosh. And this one, the Minaudière, is the star of the group. At auction, a conservative estimate would be $15,000 to $20,000.
That's amazing.
So it's really a wonderful collection.
Wow. Pretty
Must
cool.
have been quite a lady.
I would imagine so.
You brought us a travel clock today, a very special kind of travel clock, and it belonged to your grandmother?
She traveled across the United States from San Francisco to New York and traveled all over Europe with her husband.
Well, travel, I suppose, was a bit more luxurious back then?
It was.
This was a little more relaxed. Here we have the clock in its leather case, but the real surprise comes when we open up the doors and see the gold clock inside.
In the 1920s, the world was changing fast after World War I. This particular clock was made by Cartier. Many of their pieces are signed, and this clock shows the signature right on the bottom of the box. This clock is special because it opens to reveal a gold dial inside. The case is leather, protecting the delicate clock during travel. Leather was a popular material in the 1920s for travel objects because it is strong and ages well. Many luxury brands used fine leather to protect watches, clocks, and luggage. The dial itself was a proprietary design, unique to Cartier, showing their attention to detail and style. It's small, elegant, and practical, but also a work of art. It's a beautiful example of luxury and design, something made to last and to delight anyone lucky enough to see it.
The thing about Cartier objects today is that they are so popular that they're often faked. But this one has all the earmarks of being quite genuine. If you went to sell this, you would probably realize something between $10,000 and $15,000 for it.
Kidding.
Yes.
No, not possible.
It's possible. Cartier is very, very special, and that's one of the reasons why we get so concerned about fakes. But this is absolutely genuine and one of their wonderful designs, and I'm so happy I get a chance to see it today. Thanks a lot.
I can't believe it.
absolutely can't. That's incredible.
This bracelet was my grandmother's, and it was given to her by her husband after she had an accident in her kitchen and had a big scar on her arm, and so he bought her this as an estate piece from a local jewelry store in Connecticut.
I see. So it was sort of used so she could hide the scar on her arm?
It did.
It's a great looking piece.
Cartier, the famed Parisian jeweler, has been shaping luxury jewelry for over a century. This bracelet is a perfect example. Made in the 1940s, it's crafted in 18-karat gold with a tuberous design. The central motif is a stylized heart or maybe a leaf set with diamonds, rubies, emeralds, sapphires, and citrines. The center flips up to reveal a watch, a clever combination of jewelry and function. What makes this piece really special is its one-of-a-kind quality. While Cartier may have made other pieces in a similar style, this exact bracelet was unique. The watch case and design were crafted by Cartier, making it both a statement and a practical accessory. Its bold gold, colorful gemstones, and ingenious construction make it a standout even decades later. This is a show-stopping Cartier creation that proves that jewelry can be both deeply personal and brilliantly crafted.
Particular designer at Cartier, actually, that
I'm not sure
did things like this?
I'm not sure who the Cartier had designing the pieces at this time.
So this is a one-of-a-kind?
Yes, definitely one of a kind. There were probably others thematically in the same series, but not identical. The way the market is running these days, pieces by Cartier, especially from the 1940s, they're very popular again. This is a fairly valuable piece. At auction, I would expect that this item would bring somewhere between $20,000 to $25,000.
Fabulous. Yippee-ki!
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, I like that.
It's a very exciting piece.
What I brought in today is a Cartier ladies dress watch with seated pearls and diamonds. I think the circa is 1920s, but I'm not sure. This watch was inherited by my mother, and my grandmother purchased it in Baltimore between 1950 and 1960 from a friend of hers. My grandmother was a great horse lover and went to the racetrack a lot, and I think her friend actually might have placed a bet that didn't go so well, and he was looking to sell the watch. He needed the cash.
Do you know what she paid for it back then?
I think she might have paid somewhere between, I think, $1,500 and $2,500.
Cartier is a name many people know even if they are not into watches or jewelry. Interestingly, someone once replaced the movement so it could be worn, but the original dial and movement have survived, tucked safely away. The materials themselves are exceptional. The frame is platinum, the diamonds are old mine cut, and the tiny pearls are natural, likely from the Persian Gulf, wired together with platinum thread. Even the rose gold deployant buckle carries Cartier hallmarks and unique serial numbers, showing the attention to detail that defines Cartier. This watch is a true product of the 1920s. Every component reflects the era's elegance and Cartier's artistry. While some parts were altered, the watch can be fully restored to its original condition. Every detail, from the Persian Gulf pearls to the engraved hallmarks, connects the past with the present, showing why Cartier remains one of the most cherished names in luxury watches.
Everything that's wrong with this watch can be repaired.
Okay.
I shouldn't even say repaired, restored back to original condition. That's the beauty, that they didn't destroy it.
Right.
Because sometimes that happens. If it does come back and everything's correct about it.
Right.
What are your feelings about how much it may be worth?
You know, I really have no idea.
Today, if this came up to auction, it would be $50,000 to $70,000.
Would it really?
It really would.
I can't believe it. My mom's going to be thrilled. That's unbelievable.
I suppose if you were going to sell it at auction, as it sits right now, with all the parts, I would say $40,000 to $60,000.
Right. Wow. That's incredible.
I
Rachel. You've
Hi.
brought in some very interesting items today. Items owned by the silent screen star Clara Bow, an original flapper girl. How did you get these items?
Well, I went to a garage sale with my granddaughter, okay? And we bought a whole box of jewelry, some mother stuff. And
Approximately when did you do that?
about 2 or 3 months ago.
Okay, and what did you pay?
$26 for the whole box of stuff.
That's not everything that we're seeing here,
No,
right?
no, there was a lot of
We're
stuff.
only just seeing the things that you decided to bring in.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's kind of cover what you've got here.
Clara Bow was born in 1905 and rose to fame in the 1920s. The items themselves tell their own story. There's a Cartier Hermeto purse watch, handmade in Art Deco style, with Clara Bow's initials engraved on the back. This watch opens and closes like a little treasure box, and tucked inside was a tiny, crumpled note from her admirer, Daniel Freeman, written in 1929. Also included was a delicate anklet given to Clara by Warren Burke. Each item carries her personal connection, initials, and even original Cartier registration numbers. The note inside the watch reads, "Daniel Freeman to Clara Bow on her 22nd birthday. God likes her. She's a girl to feel loving for, and she broke my heart, the little darling." They are a window into her life, her fans, and her era.
So we just discovered just now that he stole these items from Clara Bow. Well, I think its historical and movie value is substantial. The watch is wonderful. The note's fantastic. I would say in the neighborhood of $3,000 to $4,000 for the whole series.
Wow. Whoa.
I think it's really wonderful.
My dad was from a farming community in Peebles, Ohio. My relatives moved there in the late 1700s. He hated the farming industry. He hated being a hick. And he went to the one gentleman in town that taught him how to be more refined. He came out to San Diego in 1931 or 2 when he was 16 or 17. Liked the city, went back, told his brothers and his parents he was moving there. Went to the gentleman that had polished him a little bit. And the gentleman either gave him this set or he purchased it. We don't know exactly. I remember as a child seeing it in the 50s. My father passed away in '69. My mother passed away last year, and I found it in my mother's belongings.
Well, it's interesting that you say he wanted to be a more refined gentleman, because what we have here is definitely refined.
Cartier has a long and famous history in the world of luxury jewelry. One such set, a Cartier Edwardian cufflink and stud set, tells the story of elegance carried across generations. The cufflinks are made of 14-karat gold with carved rock crystal centers. Around the crystal, platinum settings hold rose-cut diamonds and a rounded-top sapphire, also called a sugarloaf sapphire. There are matching studs for the shirt and even a vest button. The original box, marked Cartier, Paris, London, New York, still survives, showing just how special this set was. Examination shows these were made in France, confirmed by French hallmarks, and brought to America. The hooks, cuffs, and studs are all original, showing how meticulously these were made. It's a piece of history, reflecting a man's desire for elegance, the artistry of Cartier, and a family's story preserved over decades.
This is the top of the line.
Really?
Did he ever wear the set?
Yeah, he wore it all the time in the 40s. He liked to dress up. He had tuxedos, and he would wear it.
In a luxurious retail setting, this set would bring $12,000 to $15,000.
Oh.
At an auction, it could go even more.
Really?
Yes. This
Man.
is absolutely fabulous.
My dad would be really, really pleased.
Well, my brother passed away in 2014, and he left them to me, and he wore this all the time in the 70s, and then he showed me this and said back in the 70s that Charles Revson gave this away as a gift he was advertising his makeup or perfume.
Cartier is a name people associate with luxury jewelry from Paris, France, a house founded in 1847 that has made jewels for royals and celebrities alike. This piece, a 1970s Cartier love bracelet, was designed by Aldo Cipulo and given out as a promotional gift by Charles Revson of Revlon. Instead of slipping it on and off, it had a locking system with screws. This way, the bracelet became a symbol of commitment, not just fashion. Cipulo first approached Tiffany with his idea, but they passed. It's costume jewelry with gold electroplating, made in England, and it even has Aldo Cipulo's name stamped inside. You can also see Charles Revson and the year 1970 printed. It even came with its own tiny screwdriver to lock it on. It's a story of love, style, and a moment in history.
Cartier. Then it says love, stamped in there.
Right.
And then with a different font, which I find interesting, bracelet. And then over here, you have Aldo Cipulo's name.
Right.
Right. If you see a new one, his name's not there anymore. It's wholly Cartier. It's really so much about make love, not war, that ethos that started to sweep the country when we all were living in the 70s. You want to know who made it cool? Richard Burton gave one to Elizabeth Taylor.
There you go.
The fact that your brother was wearing this was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He was definitely a trendsetter. It's harder to find the men's size. If you go to replace that today, retail, and you got the box, you're looking at, I would say, $1,000 to $1,500.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. For
the gift with the purchase, right? You bought makeup and you got, or perfume and you got that.
Amazing, right?
That is amazing.
So what are these worth?
Yeah.
A smaller size, ladies, retail, they're around $7,500.
Good night.
Yeah, I'm sure the men's version is at least $1,000 or so more. So I would say at least $8,000.
Oh my God.
You know, $8,500.
He would be so thrilled. He would think this is just so cool.
I got this at an auction back middle of the 70s, and it was early in the evening, and I got the bid.
And what'd you pay?
$250.
Well, this is Cartier Paris.
Cartier has been a name linked with elegance for over a century. The piece he bought was no ordinary ring. It features one solid emerald at the center, a rich green gem that immediately catches the eye. The Chivor mine in Colombia is one of the places known for producing some of the most beautiful emeralds in the world. Surrounding it are beautiful diamonds, set to highlight the vibrant center stone. Diamonds are the hardest natural material on earth. They are often cut to make them sparkle as much as possible. Cartier carefully chooses diamonds for each piece so they have the best light and fire. It's not just the gems that make this ring special. The craftsmanship reflects Cartier's dedication to precision and elegance. Every detail, from the smooth setting of the emerald to the sparkle of the diamonds, is carefully designed to balance beauty and durability.
And today, if you had to buy it at auction, you'd be raising your hand upwards of $6,000.
Oh my Lord.
That's right.
I brought in a ring that I found at an estate sale a couple months ago. It was a dark room, it was a junk jewelry bin, and it had a $5 price tag, and I just thought it was cool, so I picked it up. When I got to better lighting, I saw little markings, so I investigated a little bit further, and it kind of piqued my interest even more from what I saw.
What'd you see?
The 18 carats was what I saw first, and then I saw the Cartier name, and then also another name, which seemed Vietnamese. I looked it up a little bit, and it seems like they were a designer for Cartier for a certain time.
Well, you're absolutely correct. It is by a designer named Din Von, who worked for Cartier.
At first glance, this looked ordinary, but the ring wasn't just any jewelry. It is an 18-carat gold piece with the Cartier name stamped on it. Another mark hinted at a Vietnamese designer. This led to the discovery that it was made by Din Van. Unlike classic Cartier jewelry, which tended to be ornate and elegant in the traditional sense, Din Van's designs were simple, modern, and inspired by everyday things. His style was influenced by minimalist art movements and was meant to be worn all day, not just saved for special events. What makes this ring really special is that it comes apart. The top portion is 18-karat white gold, and the bottom is 18-karat yellow gold. Together, they create a striking and unique piece. Few rings like this exist, and even among Din Van's Cartier designs, this exact version is rare. It shows how the smallest objects can hide incredible history, craftsmanship, and beauty.
And I found other rings like this, but not the exact same thing. And those were selling at retail for $6,000 to $8,000.
Oh, wow.
I would definitely put that ring in with that group because it is so unique and so different. That's quite the $5
Yeah,
find.
you can't beat that. That's pretty good return.
It was left to me by my grandmother. She left with a bunch of other jewelry, and I found it in there.
Now, we should probably start off by opening up this little door here to reveal it's actually a watch rather than a bracelet. Now, what can you tell me about it?
Nothing. I found out it was a watch probably a year after I first laid eyes on it, and I don't know anything about it.
Cartier was started in Europe, but today its collections sell in many countries and at big stores. This watch is made of 18-karat yellow gold. On the back, it has a Jaeger-LeCoultre wind movement. Swiss watches are known for being extremely accurate and for lasting many decades. Jaeger-LeCoultre has created hundreds of different movements and inventions over the years, and other watch companies even bought movements from them before Jaeger-LeCoultre became famous as its own brand. The front is designed like a bracelet, so a little door opens to reveal the time. This clever design was meant to look like jewelry while functioning perfectly as a watch. What started as a simple heirloom turned into a rare treasure. Every detail from the gold to the hidden movement shows why Cartier's pieces have been cherished for generations.
They really made some of the best examples, in my opinion, of jewelry and watches that you tend to see today.
Yeah.
But the craftsmanship of the bracelet is exceptional, it really is. So few of these were made originally, and the demand is very high. This type of exceptional design and condition, I think, are realistic valued. Nowadays, you're probably actually closer if you put both of your estimates together.
Yeah.
I think if it was to sell at auction, $15,000.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised at that type of number. It's stunning.
Oh,
it's probably
beautiful.
one of the nicest of its type I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's absolutely
It's really
gorgeous.
exciting.
This is the watch I inherited around 20 some odd years ago from my uncle. He inherited it from, I believe, one of his clients. He was a financial advisor in New York City. And she left it to him in her will, and then he passed it on to me.
And what do you know about it?
I don't know anything really. It's just a Cartier ladies' watch. I'm assuming 1950s, but I really don't know the year. It's been sitting in a log box for the last few years.
Do you ever wear this watch?
I can't get it on. I wish I could.
A tiny treasure sat hidden in a New York lockbox for decades. Cartier, founded in Paris in 1847, is famous for creating elegant, precise, and luxurious watches and jewelry. This watch has a platinum case and is set with rose-cut diamonds. The bracelet isn't original. It looks like it's from the 1930s or 1940s, but originally it had a black gross-grain silk ribbon. The face is signed Cartier, confirming its origin in Paris. It also has French platinum hallmarks. The shape is called Tortue, French for turtle, inspired by the rounded curves of a turtle shell. Its petite size and unique form make it stand out among early wristwatches. Rose-cut diamonds sparkle gently around the case. Each one was carefully set, showing Cartier's attention to detail. It's a piece of history, a symbol of Parisian luxury, and a tiny work of art that can still be worn and admired.
There's a lot of interest now in Cartier watches. Did you have an idea of the value on this piece?
My daughter and I were talking, and we thought around $5,000 to $10,000.
$5,000 to $10,000 was probably the correct valuation about 15 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But right now, I see this at $20,000 to $25,000.
Oh, very nice. Oh, I like that.
Well, this watch was inherited by my husband from his father and from his father before him. It was our understanding when he inherited it that it had been his grandmother's watch because of the small size, so he gave it to me as a present to enjoy and wear. It wasn't until some time later that I came across some old family pictures, And I could see in this picture here my husband's grandfather wearing the watch. And that's when I realized it was his watch, not his wife.
What did he do?
He was a race car driver, and he traveled all over the world racing cars. Starting in about 1912, he won his first race in the Isle of Man in 1914. So he did a lot of racing, and he was an inventor.
This watch comes from one of the most important moments in watchmaking history, when wrist watches were just beginning to replace pocket watches. In the early 1900s, Cartier was at the center of that shift. Louis Cartier believed watches should be practical, elegant, and easy to wear, especially for modern lifestyles shaped by travel, aviation, and speed. Around 1904, Cartier created one of the world's first purpose-built wristwatches for his friend, Brazilian aviator Alberto Santos Dumong, who needed to tell time while flying. That design later became known as the Santos Dumong, a watch defined by clean lines, a square case, exposed screws, and refined simplicity. By the 1910s and 1920s, these watches were favored by explorers, drivers, and innovators who lived fast, international lives. This particular watch dates to around 1920 and reflects that early era. Made in France in 18-karat gold, it features the small case size, typical of early men's wristwatches. The movement was produced by the European Watch and Clock Company, a private label Cartier used for watches sold in the United States. The original winding crown is set with a cabochon sapphire, a signature Cartier detail. Even without a visible name on the dial, the serial numbers, hallmarks, and design firmly place it within Cartier's pioneering legacy.
Of course, if they have the option, they would rather have the signature than without the signature. But due to how early this piece is, I don't feel like it's a deal breaker. Do you have any idea of the value of the watch?
No, I don't think so. We spoke to somebody a while ago, but they said they couldn't authenticate it as Cartier, and so they told me a couple thousand, maybe.
Cartier has been making this model for over 100 years now, so it's a quite popular watch. Bigger is always better in size when it comes to watches, but this was the size of the watches at that period.
I like the size.
So, well, it's perfect.
If it was bigger, my husband would be wearing it.
There you go. Your watch today at auction, I can say, would easily bring between $12,000 to $15,000.
Oh, wow, that's more than I thought. That's wonderful, thank you.
It's, as far as I know, a carved sapphire, marked Cartier. I got it for a birthday one year, found it at a flea market in our area.
Okay.
My husband got it for me, just fell in love with it.
And what did you pay for it?
Some hundreds, not more than 1,000.
When was that?
10 or so years ago.
This is a carved sapphire. I would say right around 1920 to 1925.
Okay.
In the early decades of the 20th century, Cartier was redefining what fine jewelry could be by looking far beyond Europe for inspiration. Around 1910 to 1925, the house became deeply influenced by Indian art and Mughal design, importing carved gemstones that emphasized artistry over sheer size or color intensity. These pieces marked a turning point in jewelry history, blending Eastern motifs with Western precision. Platinum, newly perfected for jewelry use, allowed Cartier to create light yet durable settings, often accented with delicate diamonds and bold black enamel for contrast. This period produced some of Cartier's most imaginative and collectible designs. This ring fits squarely within that moment. At its center is a carved sapphire, likely from Ceylon, shaped into a floral motif that reflects Cartier's fascination with hand-carved stones. The sapphire is framed by platinum shoulders set with small diamonds edged in black enamel that remains remarkably intact. Signed Cartier and made in New York, the ring combines platinum with 14-karat white gold beneath, capturing the elegance, innovation, and global vision that defined Cartier in the 1920s.
It's also enhanced by black enamel. It goes all the way around the sapphire. It's almost bezel set, if you will. There's no prongs, and the enamel work is in excellent condition. It's also signed Cartier. It's stamped inside, and it is a New York piece. The base metal is platinum, and then it's also 14 karat white gold on the bottom. I would say auction estimate would be between $5,000 and $7,000.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Great. Thank you.
I brought today a bracelet that was my grandmother's. I was a firstborn granddaughter, grandchild, and my grandfather always bought the best for his bride. And this was something that she cherished and she wore all the time. I know that it came from the Cartier store, probably in Birmingham, Michigan somewhere, because they lived there for a number of years. When they passed, this was handed down to me.
Do you know when she got it?
I do not know exactly.
So approximately when did he buy it at Cartier?
It could have been 50 years ago, maybe a little bit more. It's hard to say.
Okay.
I don't know the whole story.
Well, this is a great design to wear. It's so easy.
It's so easy. It's so classic. It's a statement piece. I don't have to worry about anything else, and I think of her when I wear it.
Yeah, well, he had good taste, for sure. I mean, Cartier is a great, iconic store. And you brought it up to the table in the original Cartier box.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was one of the greatest things about it. When my yaya was getting dressed, she would tell me to get the special box, and I knew, of course, that there was the red Cartier
The
box.
iconic Cartier, yes. I did some research on it, and it seems like they're not producing this style anymore.
Some jewelry isn't just worn, it carries memories, love, and the quiet elegance of the woman who wore it first. Cartier has always understood this idea. Since its founding in Paris in 1847, the house has built its reputation on refined design, exceptional craftsmanship, and pieces meant to endure across generations. By the mid-20th century, Cartier was shaping modern luxury with clean lines and wearable elegance, especially during the post-war years when understated sophistication became the ultimate status symbol. One of the brand's most recognizable ideas from this period was the use of multiple gold tones in a single piece, celebrating harmony, balance, and timeless style rather than excess. This bracelet reflects that philosophy perfectly. Crafted in 18-karat gold, it features Cartier's signature tricolor design, rose gold, white gold, and yellow gold flowing together seamlessly. The double C motif and 750 hallmark confirm its authenticity and quality. Designed to be worn effortlessly, it is both a statement and an everyday companion. A classic piece that honors Cartier's belief that true luxury should feel personal, familiar, and enduring.
To special occasions, I would think every day you could wear this.
Do you think I'd sport it every day?
I think you could rock it out. Yeah, for sure.
Well, then I'm going to start.
Do you have any idea on its value?
I wouldn't even begin to guess. I have never even crossed the line of a Cartier store.
I would say a conservative auction estimate would be between $3,000 and $5,000.
Hey, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's more to my heart too, but that's a great thing to know.
I hope that this is a real Cartier Snow White bracelet that was made for Disney when the movie was produced. We saw this in an estate jewelry shop window, and we came home, and within 24 hours he had called the store and said, "We want it, I want it for her, I want it." We bought it in 2012, and we paid a little bit more than $3,200.
The Cartier bracelet was one of a large line of promotional items that was produced for the movie. It was the top of the line.
Cartier stood at the height of cultural influence in the late 1930s and was known not only for fine jewelry, but for aligning itself with major moments in popular history. One of those moments came in 1937 when Walt Disney released Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the first full-length animated feature film. To celebrate the film, Disney licensed a limited range of luxury promotional items, and Cartier produced the most refined pieces in that collection. These official examples were clearly marked and aimed at elite clients who wanted both fantasy and craftsmanship in one object. This bracelet is inspired by that moment in time. While it is not one of the officially licensed Cartier Disney pieces, it reflects the design language of the era. Delicate proportions, refined metalwork, and wearable elegance rather than overt branding. Even without the Disney inscription, it stands as a well-made Cartier-style bracelet, echoing a period when fine jewelry briefly intersected with Hollywood magic. It represents how storytelling, cinema, and luxury design came together during one of the most imaginative decades of the 20th century.
All of the pieces that were licensed were inscribed Cartier, W-D-E-N-T, but unfortunately, this bracelet is not one of those. It is, however, an excellent little piece of jewelry. I would give it a retail valuation on its own merits of approximately $2,000. Okay.
I brought a watch that belonged to my great aunt. We found it in a jewelry box after she passed away, and we never saw her wear it.
The 1920s was an era when watches shifted from simple timekeepers into finely engineered objects of design, craftsmanship, and status. Cartier was at the heart of this revolution. Cartier's workshops, especially in Paris, were known for hand-assembled cases, precise movements, and bold use of materials like enamel, platinum, and gold. Every component was carefully finished, often marked multiple times to track production and assembly, details rarely preserved intact after decades of wear. This watch is a strong example of that period. It was constructed in layered sections, tightened together with screws, a method Cartier used to ensure durability and precision. The vivid blue enamel and fully numbered components reflect the brand's high standards during the early Art Deco years. Although its dial was refinished later in life, the core structure and movement remained true to its origins. Originally made as a man's watch, its compact size reflects how wristwatches were worn in the 1920s. Pieces like this show why Cartier became a leader in modern watchmaking.
At some point, this watch has had some work done on it. The dial has been refinished, and it probably had a black original band. A watch like this, even with the dial being refinished at some point, probably have a value on a retail level of about $15,000.
Oh, I'm amazed.
This is a beautiful watch.
Thank you.